Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD Podcast, where it is all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Surprise! Now, I know you were not thinking you're going to get yet another episode of the EntreMD Podcast this week. But this week is that week where you get 3 episodes, okay? So at the beginning of the week, we had 5 unexpected things that successful entrepreneurs do. And I got a lot of feedback from that episode. Really, really great episode. Well, I think all the episodes are great. But on Wednesday, which was 2 days later, I released the episode, The Business of Private Practice with Chip Hart. And if you are thinking of private practice or you're in private practice and you haven't listened to that yet, you really just want to go back after listening to this one and listen to it. Chip gave a lot of great nuggets. And if you do not know him, he is a genius private practice management expert. So you definitely want to check that out. But today, what I'm going to be doing is the most important business lessons I've learned from my mentor. And I am going to tell you why we're having a surprise episode today. Okay. So I have had the same mentor for the last 13 years, same one. And he has been instrumental in all the transformations I've experienced in my life. So this is so cool. And I'm not leaving this mentor. All right. So 13 years ago, I was what you'd consider a really smart doc. I just wanted to work and change the lives of my patients and live a simple life. But my mentor is an adventurer, loves taking adventure, loves doing new things, loves stretching the limits of what have been possible. He introduced me to the world of speaking, introduced me to a world of living outside my comfort zone, dreaming big, and the list literally goes on and on and on. Now, that mentor is my husband, Steve. And yes, we've been married for 13 years. And today is his birthday. So happy birthday. Today's his birthday. So what I decided to do is take a moment to think about how his life affected mine. So if you were born, did it matter, right? That's what we're kind of thinking of. Like, we want to leave a legacy. At least that's what I'm thinking, right? The biggest driver for me now is I want to be a world changer, right? I want my life to affect other lives. I want it to turn the part of the world I'm designed to change right side up. I want to leave a legacy, and probably got it from him. His life is certainly about doing that, about affecting other lives, about changing other people, making it better. On your birthday, people should be going, I am so happy you were born. Okay, that's literally what should be happening. But anyway, I want to take a moment today to share the most important business lessons that I've learned from him. Okay, it took me a long time to stream this down to 3 because I had like 12. So I'll give you what I consider the top 3. So first of all, the first lesson I learned is You are your most valuable asset. It's not your car, it's not your house, it's not your bank account, it's none of that. It is you. Okay? So when you make yourself better, everything gets better. Now, I want you to think about if you were remodeling a home, right? You'd pay a small fortune, some people would do, to remodel your house. Like, I don't like the way it looks, so I'm going to make it better. I want you to start thinking about yourself that way. Like, maybe there are things you don't know how to do. Maybe you're like, I'm not really a speaker. I've done Facebook Lives and they suck. I've tried to market and I just feel sleazy and I cannot bring myself to ask for referrals. Definitely can't bring myself to ask for reviews. Networking, don't want to have anything to do with it. If you feel that way, nothing is wrong with you. You might just want to remodel that house, right? You might want to learn additional skills, change yourself. You can retool yourself. You can repurpose yourself. You are not static. You're dynamic. And once you invest in you, your most important asset, everything changes. So I remember, years ago, we would go for conferences and the amount of money he would spend on books, coaching networks, masterminds, and all of that stuff, like spare no expense. And in the beginning, I was like, I'm not doing all that. I mean, I don't even think I understood how dynamic I was. I just kind of thought I'm who I am. So speaking is not my thing. I didn't realize you can invest in that and you can become better in speaking. You can invest in business skills and you could become better. I didn't realize that. That's probably why I didn't try to invest in myself. But true life story, I went for a conference and they had a speak mastermind and they had a program and it was 43 grand. Okay. It was 43 grand for a 10-month program. And I remember talking to him about it like, oh my gosh, can you imagine what's going on here? And he's like, so are you signing up for it? I'm like, signing up for what? And he's like, signing up for the program. Don't you need it? Is that something that would make your business grow? Is that what would help you take your life and your destiny to the next level? Is that what would make you help doctors like you've always planned and you've always wanted to do? I'm like, yeah. He's like, do it. I'm like, it's 43 grand. He's like, do it. And you know what? One of the most impactful decisions I made was to do that because that's what opened the world of speaking. That's what helped me dare my fears in a way that I'd never done up until that time. It's what kind of threw me out. Like I was just out of my comfort zone, fish out of water. And through that 10-month program, I totally transformed into a different person. Not different, but more like a better version of myself. Okay. And I saw for the first time the power of coaching and the power of being in a community and being held accountable and getting the right information. It was amazing. And I think that's one of the things that inspired me to really embrace coaching because you can really change people's lives as a coach. I kid you not, when I get off my coaching calls with my clients, I'm like kid in a candy store. I'm like high because to watch people get transformed, I don't have words for it. It's like the most amazing thing. So I'm so humbled by the doctors who would trust me with their dreams and, we'd work on it. And I mean, some of the results are like things you read in books, like I 10x my income, I 15x my income. And these are people who are like, I can't speak. I don't have a business idea. I can't do this. So I'll just pause here and say, if you're thinking about business or you're struggling in business, you're not making the strides you want to make, or you're ready to scale, or maybe you're an employee and you love your job, but you're like, I know there's more. I want to retool myself. I want to start playing around with business ideas and stuff like that. Don't wait. I mean, there are opportunities within the EntreMD community for you to get private coaching or for you to be part of the Freedom Formula Masterclass, which is a group coaching program. Just reach out, but don't wait. You are your most valuable asset. So that's the number one lesson that I learned from him. And I have made it my job every day to make myself better. I'm the weapon. I'm the asset. I'm it. No matter how bad things seem around me, if I can change me, I can change. So that's number one. The second lesson is to become a master communicator. Master communicator. Now, my husband is a serial entrepreneur. He's also the pastor of a church. So he has to speak at least once a week. Once a week. All right. And he is a master at this. I have listened to him every Sunday for 10 years. And I still get amazed every Sunday. I mean, obviously, I'm biased, but every Sunday I'm amazed. And I would often hear people say things like, it felt like you were talking to me. Now you go like, why is she talking about master communicator? Because being able to speak changes everything. You would have heard me say that the fastest way to grow your business, any business, is to speak. And you're not speaking to give a speech. You're not speaking to just put out data. You're not speaking to do that. You're speaking to help people make a change, help them make a transformation, get them to buy your idea, whatever that is, whether it may be you can have a better marriage, or you can have a better business, or you can manage your finances better, whatever. Getting them to buy that idea so they can take action on it and experience change in their lives. So to be able to get people to do that is brilliant. Now, he's a master at this. So there was a day, I'll give you this example. This was years ago. And he walks in and he's like, you know what happened today? And we're all listening like, what happened? I woke up this morning, I came out of my room and walked into the living room, and my landlord was sitting in my living room. And I'm going like, what? In our living room? And then he went on with his story. And he's like, when I gave you guys this place, it didn't look like this. Why does it look dirty? You know, why is the plumbing messed up and all this stuff? And my blood was almost like boiling. Like, how could he have come into our home? And he went on and he was like, you know, I'm sorry, he told the landlord, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. And he's like, no, I'm not leaving until you take care of all this stuff. And I'm in my seat, like mad, right? Like, what in the world? And then he goes like, no, that's not really what happened. My landlord didn't come into my house. But do you know why I was angry? He said, I was angry because even though the landlord owns the building, because I leased the building from him, I have jurisdiction in the building. You can't walk in it. Even though you own it, you need to take permission from me. Now, when he was done telling that story, he went on to give the point of God, yes, is the owner of the earth, but he gave man jurisdiction. And if we don't invite him, he's not going to come in, because even though he's the owner, we're the ones in charge. So, I mean, he could have just read the scripture and said, oh, the heavens belong to God and the earth he's given to the children of men. But he didn't do that. He told this story. So by the time he got to the point, we all got it. It was crystal clear. So he uses stories. He breaks it down. He takes complex things, makes them very simple. So when you listen, you're like, my goodness, let's go do it. They buy it. Okay. So when I did the first EntreMD Live, I was trying to make the point that as physicians, we can own businesses. And I looked around because I talked to a lot of doctors. They own businesses. They're not really doing really well financially. They can't necessarily replace their income or anything like that. And when I'm like, we're going to show you how to make six figures, they're like, it's not that easy. And maybe not people who are in private practice, but, you know, people who started side gigs or started cash-based practices and stuff like that. I'm like, no, you can start a six-figure business. So when I start that session on how to make six figures, I pull up the example of someone who is in the mall doing ear piercings, and she charges $100 per service. And then I break it down to how that person could work for 3 hours a day and make six figures at the end of the year. By the time I was done with the illustration, the docs in the room were like, oh my goodness, we can do this, right? And what did that do? It broke it down. It made it so simple that you can have that aha moment, like, wait, I can do this. So the better you are at communicating, the better you can get your message across, the better you can help your clients get their transformation. It changes everything. So you may be saying, I'm not good at speaking. It's a learnable skill. You can do it. If you're part of the Freedom Formula Masterclass, we'll show you how to do it. Okay. You might be saying, I get nervous on stage. I'm shy, and so was I, and it's a learnable skill. You can overcome this. You might say, I'm an introvert, not more introverted than me. You may have heard me say this before. The first time I got on a stage, they literally had to put an usher beside me to make sure I didn't run away. Okay? So become a master communicator. If you can learn how to replace joints, heart transplants, put babies to sleep without complications, you can learn to become a master communicator. Okay? So, master communicator. The third lesson, oh my goodness, and I'm happy I'm sharing this. The third lesson is smell the roses, but get back on the road. Okay, I'm going to break this down, okay? So listen, there are two parts to it. One is smell the roses, which means enjoy your life. I mean, I know we're trying to achieve goals, we're chasing down targets, we're doing all these things, but don't forget to stop and smell the roses, okay? Don't forget to do the things that matter. Spend time with your family. Go on vacations. You may not be able to afford a $20,000 vacation in a mansion in Florida, but there are vacations that you can go on. Take the time. Be by yourself. Be with your spouse. Be with your friend. Go with your family, but do those things. Do the simple things. Take those walks. Schedule a massage. Go learn how to dance. Maybe you're an introvert and that's not really your thing, but go learn it. Learn a new sport with your spouse. This year, my husband and I, we started playing squash. Never played squash before, but we decided that's our thing, but smell the roses. Go to a nice restaurant and just sit and enjoy it. Like, live life, okay, while you chase. And for me, I was not really a natural at that. So he's the one that will go like, no, we are going on vacation. No, we're going to this place. I'm going like, that's too expensive. That, da, 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 da. He's like, you live once. Stop it. So smell the roses. All right. Don't be so type A that you get to 75 and you're like, wow, where did all the time go? Okay. But the second part is don't stay in the garden forever. Like, don't live for vacations and do vacations the entire year and spend the time with family and friends and all that all year long. Smell the roses, but get back on the road. Smell the roses, then get back chasing what you can do, chasing down purpose and destiny and all of that stuff. So enjoy life, but don't stay in the garden all day. Get back on the road and fight for your dreams. Fight. And after you fought for a while, go back, smell the roses. Okay? So smell the roses, but get back on the road. All right. And P, if you're listening, I want to say happy, happy, happy birthday. And thank you so much for being an inspiration to so many people, but especially me. Love you. Okay. Now, I need a huge favor from you. Okay? I wanted to make his day special, but the way he thinks about his success, he thinks in terms of lives touched. He thinks in terms of who have I helped? Has my life mattered? Has it made somebody else's life better? Okay. So I'm sure one of the lessons here resonated with you, whether it's you're your most valuable asset or becoming a master communicator or smell the roses, but get back on the road. Maybe one of them, two of them, or all of them resonated with you. So I want you to help me make his day special. It's easy. It's 3 steps. This is what I need you to do. Number 1, I want you to share the link of this episode to any of your social media platforms. Okay. Share the link. Number 2, state what lesson you learned from it. So I learned I'm my most valuable asset. Once I get better, everything gets better. Or you learned about becoming a master communicator and you're going to do what it takes to become a great communicator. Or you've learned that, maybe I'm a little type A. I need to stop and smell the roses. Or maybe you just live in smell the roses mode and you're like, I need to smell the roses, but get back on the road. Whatever the lesson is. Okay. And the way you're going to state it is, thank you, Steve. That's his name. Thank you, Steve, for teaching me that. And then put whatever that lesson is. Okay. So thank you, Steve. You can throw a happy birthday too. That'll be great. And then you're going to use the hashtag EntreMD 2020. So EntreMD 2020, hashtag EntreMD 2020. So share the link, state the lesson, stating it as thank you, Steve, for teaching me that. And then use the hashtag Okay, so thank you so much for helping me make his day special. And thank you for being a part of the EntreMD community. I will see you next week. You are going to get a powerful episode on the 7 fears that stop you from starting or scaling your business. It's going to be great. So I will be following that hashtag and resharing your stuff so I can make his day special. And I will see you next week. If you love this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, share, and review it on iTunes. As you go about your week, remember, you're not just an MD, you're an EntreMD. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode. Until next time.